Call the meeting to order in accordance with the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act. Where am I? I have that part memorized. 30-4-80E, South Carolina Code 1987 as amended. All the media in the immediate area have been notified of the date, time, location, and agenda of our meeting. We'll have our prayer by Mr. Govan, followed by the pledge with Mr. Jeffords.
Let's bow our heads. Father, good evening. We come before you asking your direction and your guidance as we try to make decisions that are in the best interest of our children and the citizens of Darlington County. We ask that you will be in the midst of it and you will be sure that we do what is right. This we ask in your name, and we ask mercy, traveling mercies as we return back to our respective homes. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any citizens' comments tonight? There are no citizens' comments. So that means we will go ahead and start with our awards. Dr. Nichols. And I think we have someone, Mr. Schuler, but we'll start with Dr. Nichols.
Good evening. I am excited to recognize these 6 students from Darlington Middle School who won the place at the South Carolina Junior Beta Club State Convention this year. Those students are, if you'll come forward as I say your name and smile through your parents, and then we'll get a picture with everybody. Christian English is the 2026 SC State Junior Beta Vice President.
We can do individuals, sure. Thank you.
We have Addison Caldwell, first place, Premier Performer, Junior Dancer.
Mom, did you get your picture?
I did.
Okay.
Kennedy Miles, first place, Premier Performer, Junior Dancer. Wait, sorry, hang on. Equality McNeil, first place, Premier Performer, Junior Dancer.
So cute.
London Russell, first place, Premier Performer, Junior Dancer. And Chanel Scott, first place, Premier Performer, Junior Dancer. Thank you. Next, we will recognize the 2026 Senior Beta Club State Conference Students, 8 students from Darlington County School District won first place at the South Carolina Senior Beta Club State Conference this year. From Hartsville High, we have Emery Bennett Ross, first place color photography, Division 1. From Mayo High School for Math, Science, and Technology, we have Sylvan Cook, first place, engineering senior. Thank you. Smith Bassett, first place, engineering senior. Hunter Jetson, first place, engineering senior. Aiden Martin, first place, engineering senior. Avi Prehit, first place, engineering senior. Shanasia Myers, first place, premier performer, senior dancer. And Abigail Thompson, first place, premier performer, dancer, senior dancer. Congratulations to all of you for making Darlington County look so great.
Good evening, everyone. I have the privilege and honor to recognize 4 prestigious schools today that all of them have been working extremely hard in reference to our attendance initiative. We had the top 3, which all are a repeat, right? That means they have won back-to-back and sometimes back-to-back and continuing. Yeah. Our first group that we recognize is schools less than 400, and once again, it is Carolina Elementary. If they come down and receive
So y'all didn't bring our, did you bring the trophy?
We did, yeah.
Is that
We
a
got
trophy?
He's gotta get the
Put it in the picture.
Oh, thank you.
They wanted everyone to lay eyes on the trophy they had.
Does it good. Lower it just a little bit so I can't, there you go. Thank you.
Our next category is 400 and above, and that goes out once again to North Hartsfield.
Thank you.
And our next category is schools with 700 above students. And once again, Dr. James and the Hartsfield Middle School team, would you please come forward?
Y'all are 3
They are 3 people.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, final category is most improved. And this month it goes out to Pate Elementary.
I don't want to step over the thing.
There you go.
See the teamwork.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We want to commend all of our students. Obviously, they brought their team, which consists of counselors, social workers, student data managers. It's extremely, I'm extremely proud to see the team effort, so let's keep it up. Thank you.
Absolutely.
We're gonna do a little repeat here because we saw a dad sneak in right after his son got the award, so we're gonna act like we're gonna do it again for the first time. Well, so dad can see his son walk up here and get that.
All right, Emery Bennett Ross, first place, color photographer.
No, it's impressive.
Just Christian English, the 2026 SC State Junior Beta Vice President.
Dad, you need to get a picture? She's got it. All right, okay. Congratulations.
Be curious, do you know what these, what attendance rates are?
You want to ask Mr. Schuler?
I'm just curious.
Mr. Schuler, could you tell us what those attendance rates are?
Do you know?
Do you know?
Yes, for Carolina it was 97.2.
You want to talk to the microphone?
North Hartsville was 95.5, and Hartsville Middle was 93.9.
It's impressive.
That is. Excellent. So,
Our chronic absenteeism is down 6%.
don't say that one out loud during your board meeting. Or say it so you-
We don't want to jinx it yet, but our chronic absenteeism rate is down over 6% right now. So we've got maintained through the spring, but there has been improvement this year on attendance and chronic absenteeism. So that hats off to Mr. Schuler and his team and principals for making attendance count every day.
Thank you. That's excellent. All right, the next Darlington County Board of Education work session is Monday, March 23rd, 6 o'clock in the training room. And our next regular meeting will be in this room on April the 13th, also at 6 p.m. We have our adult ed admissions, and I'll take a motion to approve those adult ed admissions.
So moved.
Can I get a second? Second. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We've got our minutes for February 29th and February 23rd. You want to take those together? Can I get a motion?
Motion we accept both of them together.
Okay, can I get a second? Second. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. And that brings us to our budget report.
I think we skipped citizen comments.
Citizens comment.
No, we didn't
did?
have any.
Oh, okay.
Citizens' comments, we didn't have any.
Oh, okay. But you acknowledged it. Okay.
Yeah,
We just both missed it.
Good evening. Okay, so you've got January's budget reports for you. And as you'll see, we collected some tax monies in January, so our revenues are up where we expect them to be. If you look on the comparative, we're up 4.85% over last year, which is about where I would expect us to be based on our budget projections. So now we are actually, revenues exceed our expenditures because tax revenues start coming in January. So we'll have another big month next month. Everything else looks pretty much in line. Did anybody have any questions on anything in the budget? I did notice after the board meeting last time that we had neglected to put the quarterly reports on there. We normally put those on at the end of each quarter. I have a new person helping me with that, and she and I both missed it, so we added those on here for the October to December quarter. That we always report the sole source, the emergency expenditures, and the minority vendor expenditures each quarter.
Anybody have any questions? That looks good. We always like when January rolls around.
Yes, I'm very thankful for January.
And that will bring us to our building program funding report.
Our financial advisor, Bob Dameron, is going to talk to you about the ways we can finance the referendum projects after those are identified. And I know we've had some questions about how we could do that without raising the debt service millage. And he is the expert in that area, and he's ready, he's connected. We just got to get him on the screen.
Hey Bob, can you hear us? Okay, Bob, give me 1 second because you went off our screen.
Here he is.
There we go.
I told him he was going to
All right. Say something for me, Bob, to make sure we can check our audio.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4.
That works. Hey, we can hear you.
You got it.
I have introduced you, Bob, so you can start when you want to.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll go over. First, it's good to be with you all this evening.
Can we get some volume on that?
I look forward to the next meeting when I'm going to be able to be in Darlington. Have you got the information that I sent down?
We do, Bob. I'm trying to think how I can share that and still see you.
You should be able to.
There, well,
Hang on, he's going to try to share the.
well, if they can't see me and that, it's best for them to see that.
Yes, sir. And if you tell me when, I'll advance the slide.
Okay. So I can't see the slide, so hopefully you all can. The first slide that I want to talk about is the debt capsule report. There we go. I see it now. Let me click on this. Okay, there we go. And the important part of this is that you only have one bond issue that's outstanding. That bond issue is the sales tax-backed bonds for the 3 elementary schools that we did on the last referendum. As you can see, the borrowing rate is only at 2.75%, so it's extremely low. The sales tax bonds are about halfway paid off as far as the principal. And of course, as you know, the principal will start accelerating now to get toward the back of the bonds to pay off in 2033. So we're 7-8 years away from the bonds being fully paid off. The sales tax is doing that, and then the sales tax is actually generating additional revenue that's being able to be used for your general obligation bonds that you borrow each year. So that gives you an idea. This is one of the reasons you're able to do a $230 million referendum and continue to have ongoing maintenance bonds without a tax increase. So if we want to move to the next sheet. So this is a graph, and the graph reflects kind of what happens with 30.3 mils as time goes out. We're using a relatively low growth pattern, believe it or not, compared to what your actual growth pattern is. But as you can see, it's all sized at 30.3 mils. So this is the graph that follows through with the referendum proposal and the annual maintenance. The light blue color would be the debt service that is going to be necessary for the $230 million referendum. The purple lines are what you borrow each year through your annual bond issue, and that's for general maintenance, general ongoing maintenance issues. And then going back to 2027, you see a green line, and that will be the amount that we'll issue this year in your annual bond issue. That's generally done, you approve it in the summer. So a lot of times I think June, around your normal budget time when you're adopting the budget, we adopt the resolution to issue that annual bond, and then we sell that in August so that it goes on to tax bills. And so you can see that green line represents a substantial number of dollars that will be available for you. So let's go to the next page, which really is the numbers page. Okay, so when we look at the numbers page, you can see the sales tax in column C, and those are the dollars that is being generated by the sales tax solely for making the payments on those bonds. In addition to that, you're going to be getting about $3.5 to $4 million a year of excess sales tax money that goes toward paying your annual bonds and annual debt service. Column D is the estimated amount, and we'll fine-tune that as we get a little bit further in the year with Renee's collection numbers. But we're going to issue currently $15.8 million. That's for general capital needs that you all would be able to use for your 5-year capital program. And I know you all have one that's pretty accurate and is revised each year. Certainly good practice for you to do, and you're getting a lot of capital needs, maintenance needs, and other things to your district out of play as you go forward. The $230 million then referendum would be column E. And you would notice that we really don't start making debt service payments on that until year 2030. Now that would be 29/30 as far as fiscal year, but in 2030, and as you can see then we've got those bonds kind of structured to run forward at that point in time. This is an estimated interest rate. I think we use 4.25%, which is a little bit higher than where we are currently. We're hoping that the interest rates continue to decline, but we used a figure a little higher than where we are today to be conservative. The column F would be the amount of annual maintenance bonds that are going to be available each year. And let me explain why we're not doing the referendum bonds starting payments on those this next year when it passes. You're not going to need that full $230 million the first year, probably even the second year, because it's just going to take a while to construct the projects that are in the referendum. So we would issue a bond anticipation note for the amount that you're going to draw each year. That would be, it'll be structured based on the draw schedule that the architects, engineers, construction companies give to the district, and then each year we would issue a bond anticipation note. You do not pay millage on a bond anticipation note, so you wouldn't be paying any millage on that. But since we're at 30.3 mils, we're going to fill that in with annual bonds each year, so it'll give you some additional capital needs until we actually term out that referendum bond. I'm estimating for this purposes that we would probably sell the referendum bond in June or July of 2029, with the first payments being due in 2030. But again, that could change. That could be pushed out even another year if we need to. if the project construction phase is slower than is anticipated. But that's kind of the structure that normally would be in place for any referendum bond for a large school construction project, such as what you all are talking about. Can we move to the next column, or next slide? Okay, on the next slide, you can see that you all have been averaging about 6 to 7% growth each year. We're doing all these estimates on only a 4% growth factor. So again, we're being extremely conservative in what you can bond. So I think should be no concern about being able to bond out the $230 million. Again, all of our numbers are at a rate less than what your growth has been the last several years, and so we think that's a very conservative number to use. As you can see, you all have been at 30.3 mils for going back to at least 2020 and maybe even before that. So this is not a property tax increase in any shape, form, or fashion. You can see that we've got some additional money coming in of about $3.7 million each year from the surplus sales tax funds. That's column G. We're not assuming in this $230 million referendum proposal that the sales tax would be continued. However, I think in 2031, the board would probably want to consider going back to the voters and asking for the continuation of the sales tax, especially since a large percentage of your sales tax is actually paid by non-Darlington County taxpayers. So keeping the sales tax in place would be a good thing. It also would open up the ability to do another referendum in probably 2031 for a continuation of the sales tax with other projects that would be needed by that time. You know, we're looking at 6 or 7 years from now, so I'm sure there'll be other capital projects that'll be needed at that point in time. But our analysis on the $230 million referendum does not include an extension of the sales tax. Would you move to the next one? So okay, I guess that's the end of the slides. You do have a constitutional, I thought I had it in the slide, that cannot be. But anyway, so your all's constitutional debt limit is extremely strong. You don't use it except for these annual bonds each year. The referendum would not count against your constitutional debt limit of the 8% debt. And so it's really a pretty simple proposal, but there should be no problem in being able to cover the $230 million referendum should the voters approve it. First, should you all propose it and the voters approve it to stay at the 30.3 mil. So we feel real comfortable about our estimates on these numbers. We think that they're conservative. They give us a lot of flexibility in the event that we should have a cost overrun. We're going to have continued monies coming in from that annual 8% bond. And then it provides, under the 8% bond, a plan for you to continue to have significant amounts of dollars available for other projects other than what's in the referendum. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you all might have.
So I don't understand the part about having to do another referendum in 2031.
You would have the ability, if you wanted to extend the sales tax that will expire in 2031, to go back to the voters, just like you did when we did the last sales tax, and ask for voter approval to issue additional bonds based on the continuation of the sales tax.
But the referendum, if we were to put a referendum on the ballot this year, that's what we would be asking for, the continuation of what's currently in place?
No.
Or it's already.
We're not gonna pay that off because we've got such a low interest rate.
Right.
And it's not due until 20.
Because you're not gonna go buy one that has, you're not gonna go take a 5% loan right now.
Okay.
Additional sentence.
Yeah, that would be once the sales tax is paid off. I mean, once that bond is paid.
So what would we be asking them for this referendum?
$230 million
To be paid for how?
through our current.
With our debt service millage. with the same money that we're paying for all of the capital projects that we're doing on an ongoing basis, our 8% debt limit.
So we're
We
asking,
would just be getting it all at one.
We won't get it all at one time, but that's what he was talking about. You don't have to issue $230 million if that ends up being we just use that as a top estimate.
So we,
stages, right?
You would issue what you need.
but we would just lower the amount that was,
We would lower the amount that's allocated to any other capital projects, and we would focus them on whatever projects are approved. We would still have $3 to $5 million each year, maybe a little more.
and what do we normally have?
We've been doing 9 to 16.
That's what I thought.
So,
Are we okay?
technology refresh, we normally allocate $3 million a year. We don't always use $3 million a year, so we're working on this month and we're doing projections. We've got the roofing assessment that we're having done, so we'll know what roofs we need, so we can plan to do. We can't stop fixing everything else for 3 projects, and this will allow us to do that.
Okay, so I guess I'm just confused in what, if the sales tax is gonna continue on, but we're not gonna use that for this, but we're gonna use our 8% money to do this. We can do that already without, so I don't understand the
You still have
referendum
to have
part.
approval.
To borrow that much money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
For
we
these big projects.
we can't,
We couldn't do
I mean,
that.
we've got to have the referendum because of the amount is in excess of our 8%.
so basically you're saying that, if I understand this correctly, just trying to put it in some layman's terms for every,
For all the laymen.
For all-
over here that don't understand it, yeah.
so basically that we're thinking that we would like to put out a referendum asking the voters if we can borrow $230 million, but we have a plan to pay for it without raising taxes.
Without raising the debt service taxes, yes.
That's correct.
And a way to think of it, Bob, I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, is it's asking for permission to take out a mortgage because we know what we want to buy, we know how much it's going to be, instead of kind of piecemealing and paying a project year by year by year.
Yes, this is very similar to, if we want to put it into a home construction loan, a new construction loan for your home or mortgage. You're asking the voters for approval to borrow the amount of money to construct the home or construct the high school. We're going to do a construction loan, i.e. bond anticipation notes, each year for the amount it takes that you're going to need for that portion of the construction. We're not going to go and borrow $230 million and have 150 or 200 of that 230 sitting in the bank, just not really drawing interest, but you're paying interest on it at the same time. So we're only going to borrow the amount that you're going to actually need for about 12 to 13 months of projected construction cost per year. 3 years down the road, the majority of the project will be complete. And at that point in time, we would actually term the referendum bonds, i.e. the mortgage, in place, and then we'll start making payments on that out of the same tax revenue that you're currently receiving in debt service millage to do all the other construction and capital needs that the district has been borrowing each year.
So how long does it take us to pay this off?
We're projecting this on a 25-year loan basis, which is pretty much standard for most large referendum projects in the state of South Carolina. We would look at that. If there's a way of getting it a little shorter, we would, but our overriding goal is always to try to keep the loan or the bonds within the 30.3 mil target, which is what your millage has been for debt service for many, many years.
So in 2031, 32, we'll ask the voters to extend the 1% sales tax. Is that what you're saying?
You have the option. That's not what you're asking the voters at this point today.
Right, I know that.
But come 2031, I'm sure that there will be other projects that are needed in Darlington with the way you all grow and just with the normal aging of other facilities that you'll have. You'll probably have some additional needs, and at that point in time, you would be able to go back to the voters with another referendum for a new amount based on just sales tax collections. What we're saying is, in this proposal, the extension of the sales tax is not needed in order to continue to fund this referendum without tax increase.
So we don't have to extend the sales tax, and we're not gonna increase taxes for this referendum, but if we wanted, we're not gonna be stuck not being able to do anything additional, is what you're saying. So starting in 2031, we would have other ways, if we could extend the sales tax, to continue to do additional projects. We're not gonna just be like stuck for 25 years, unable to do any new projects, is what you're trying
That's
to
for
say.
substantial projects. You're going to continue to have annual maintenance monies or annual capital bonds each year that are going to be in excess of $3 million, and then there'll be estimated $5.4 million about 5 years out. So and actually, there'll probably be more than that if the growth in the value of the debt service mill continues for Darlington County as it has the past 4 or 5 years. Then you're probably going to have even more money left over for the annual bond than what you have being proposed or projected. But again, we try to project on a conservative basis so that we don't come back 2 years, 3 years into this project and say, oh, we've got to raise the taxes. We want to make sure that all of our projections are based on a very conservative estimate, conservative growth factors, and conservative from the standpoint of how the process will work, just to make sure that the voters are sure that you can do what you say you're going to do.
I have a question, excuse me.
Go ahead.
So you said that monies would be available and we could do small projects within that 20-year time frame, but not large ones. So another school could not be built, say, for 20 years, 25 years?
It could potentially be built with an extension of the sales tax in 2031.
So we would be unable to really do another big project until 2031, and then which isn't very long, yeah. It's only like 4 years, and then we could consider doing an additional, okay, sorry. Charles?
You would be limited to a relatively smaller capital improvement plan for the next 4 to 5 years, because we're going to be using the majority of this money. But I remind you that you're going to have about 15.8 million this year. You will have another 16 million next year and another 16 million the year after that under the existing 30.3 mils and the referendum money of 230 million based on how our projections are set for this. So, you're going to be generating $47 million over the next 28 to 30 months, in addition to what the referendum would provide.
Bob?
Yes, sir.
When we did the first bond referendum, when we built the middle schools, we were allowed to pay it off early at a certain point, after a certain number of years. Would that be the case with this bond as well?
Yes, there will be a call date on the $230 million referendum bond 10 years out. If we could refinance it, we would. Then there'd be another call date, probably 10 years after that. So you're going to have call provisions to when you can always, number one, refinance the bond if interest rates improve, and two, pay it off early if you so desire to do so. It doesn't make good financial sense at this point in time to pay off the sales tax bond early because the interest rate is so low and because of the extra money that the sales tax bond is generating is available for you to do debt service payments on the referendum bond, payments on your annual capital needs, whatever the case may be. So you're able to get the best of both worlds. I know 2 or 3 years ago, the county had told us that they thought the sales tax bond or the sales tax receipts were going to grow faster than what we had projected, and that has been the case. And because of that, you're able to have even more flexibility in issuing additional debt from those excess sales tax dollars, and we're taking advantage of those. But we don't need to extend the sales tax after those bonds are paid off in order for the referendum to work without a tax increase.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? Bottom line is, we will be able to do this without a tax increase.
Correct.
We just have to get their permission.
We've got to get a permission to do it, to borrow that much money from the taxpayers.
School districts
From the voters.
are limited to only issue debt up to 8% of the assessed value of the district on the sole vote of the board. Anything above that dollar figure has to be approved by the voters. Back in 2006, before Act 388 was passed, school districts had also an option called installment purchase revenue bonds. But the legislature closed that option for school districts in 2006. Now, they left the window open for local governments to use installment purchase revenue bonds, which meant you could issue the debt without going to the voters for counties and for cities. And in fact, I think the county actually used an installment purchase revenue bond type of financing when they built the new court facility. But school districts don't have that option. So the only option you have that's available is to go to the voters for a referendum or to issue debt just under your 8% debt capacity. And so your 8% capacity is not enough to build a new high school or maybe a small elementary, but it's just not designed for building major construction projects. For those, you need to go to the voters and ask for approval.
But we would just be drawing it on an annual basis, and that draw would stay under the 8%.
Yeah.
To keep it at
To
30.
pay the debt off, not to borrow, but to pay it off.
Until we get to 2031
31.
or 32, somewhere there, and then make a decision to ask the voters to extend the pen.
But we don't have to ask to
But we
extend
don't
the-
have
We don't
to
have
ask.
to, but if we do, then we can do even more
We
projects.
could do more projects.
Keep in mind also that a reason to go out and construct the projects that you want to build this year versus waiting for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years is the cost of construction inflation is significant. It's been 15 to 20% in a lot of years, the last 4 or 5 years. We don't know what it's going to be going forward, but there's no indication or any reason to why that number is going to come down. So when you're building the school with today's dollars but paying off for the next 25 years, you're really using future dollars to pay off current construction costs. And that's still a good option for the school district. I dare say if you built this school 5 years ago, it would be far less than what you're looking at today. But you didn't have the capacity that you have today because of the growth in the value of the mill. So I think the timing is correct for both scenarios. But as the chairman said, the key is that you could issue up to the $230 million without a tax increase.
That it?
That's it.
Mr. Damron, thank you so much. We appreciate that. That's good news.
Feel free to reach out and call if you need anything. I'm always open to taking a phone call and talking with Superintendent Renee. Great, always easy to work with, and so we look forward to helping you all as we move forward. If you do decide to do this, we can always attend meetings and, community meetings. We do that a lot, showing these same charts and graphs that we have.
Can I ask one last question? How long have you worked with us, Mr. Dameron? I believe you guys you've been working with our district for many years.
I hate to think how many years it's been, but probably at least 15.
Yeah. I just wanted to share that because I knew the answer to that, but I just wanted to say, I wanted him to, I didn't know exactly the number, but I knew it was a while. And I guess I wanted just to share that, he's been through this with us for a lot of years. And I mean, one of the things I've learned on this board for the last 3 years is that you and our district and people before you have been extremely fiscally responsible, and that's what has allowed us to do a lot of these things and, you know, and have the trust and everything that we have with you from years of experience with you. So I didn't know the exact answer, but I knew you'd been with us for a long time, and we appreciate everything that you've done to help us make sure that we're being
I think
responsible.
it's between 15 and 20 years, probably.
No, I just think it's important for people to know that there's a relationship there that we've had for a long time, and that he's helped us do some responsible things, so thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Mayor.
Bob.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Good night.
Warren, that's awful. All right. And Renee, you're up for our next one. Under our action items, we've got approval of finance compliance, and basically, I think you found us a new auditor.
I did. So as you know, our current auditors, Webster Rogers, notified us in January that they would no longer be performing governmental audits, and they were not going to conduct this year's audit, June 30th, 2026 year end. So because of that short timeline, I reached out to 6 of my trusted CFO buddies and asked for recommendations. And after I discussed it with them, found out who was doing their audit, several of them had just put theirs out for bid. One of them only got 1 bid back. They told me some of the firms are at capacity. So I reached out after Dr. Ferguson and I discussed who might be available. We did not put it out for bid because of the short time limit. Our procurement policy does not require that we bid out services, legal or audit services. However, our board policy says that we will go out and look for people, but we didn't think we had the time to do a full RFP. So we did an emergency procurement. I reached out to Halliday, Schwartz and Company. I spoke with Andrew Dobson. He's one of the partners there. And I gave him our pitch, and then he looked us up and talked to some of his clients who know us, and they gave us a great recommendation. And he said their timeline's tight, and they weren't really looking for a new person, but they agreed to do our audit. They gave us a 5-year proposal, which was I thought it was a really good one. It's not much more than what our original proposal was. It went up about what I thought it should go up. And according to our policy, I have to bring it before you. That is our recommendation, that we take them. They are also going to do our procurement audit, which is something we also have to have done. And after tonight's vote, if you vote yes, then I will contact them tomorrow and we'll get started. Anytime you take on a new audit for the audit firm, because I've been there, it's a lot of extra paperwork. So we'll probably start, actually my team this past week already started working on paperwork to send the auditors. So I told them once this was a done deal, we would get started immediately. So.
All right, I'll take a motion then to approve our new auditors, Halliday, Schwartz and Company. Can I get a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation for the new auditor.
Can I get a
Sure.
second?
Second.
All right, do we have any questions?
Any questions?
Any questions for Renee on this? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Ferguson, I'll turn this one over to you.
Madam Chair, members of the board, good evening. Tonight we are going to begin our presentation with a short video that highlights our stewardship pillar. If you have not caught on to the theme yet, each month I try to bring you a video that aligns with one of those pillars at the top of student success, teacher support, or workforce development, and stewardship. Tonight is our first stewardship video. And this video is designed to help our community members understand the facilities plan and the 3 recommended projects, why they matter, what they would accomplish and how we're being responsible with long-term planning. So here is our video, and as always, thanks to Chris and Audrey, who always do a great job.
For more than 25 years, our district has followed a clear, research-based facilities plan developed with guidance from outside experts. That long-term approach has allowed us to steadily replace aging buildings with modern learning environments designed for today's students. We've reduced the average age of our school facilities, creating safer, more efficient, and more effective spaces for teaching and learning. Now we're focused on the next 3 priority projects identified in our long-range plan. First, Hartsville High School. For decades, Hartsville High has served this community with pride, but portions of the current facility no longer reflect the modern academic, safety, and technology standards our students deserve. Today's high schools are designed with collaborative learning spaces, advanced career and technical labs, enhanced security features, and energy-efficient systems. Our goal is to create a learning environment that supports innovation, expands opportunity, and prepares students for success after graduation. Our current proposal would reduce the number of buildings from 17 to 1 and locate an entire educational complex on the property next to Kellytown Stadium. Second, Spalding Middle School. Middle school is a critical transition point for students, both academically and socially. The learning environment should reflect that importance. Modern middle schools are built to foster collaboration, hands-on learning, and student engagement, while also improving safety and operational efficiency. Investing in Spalding Middle ensures students have a space designed specifically for how they learn today. Our current proposal for this project would construct a brand new Spalding Middle School on the property where Lamar Spalding Elementary is currently located. Third, combining Pate Elementary School and Brockington Elementary Magnet School into one updated, unified facility. Bringing these school communities together creates opportunities to better serve students while maximizing resources. New elementary schools are designed with flexible classrooms, enhanced safety features, and spaces that support foundational learning in a nurturing environment. This project represents both efficiency and opportunity, strengthening programs while creating a modern space for our youngest learners. Our current proposal for this project would be to construct a brand new elementary school on the property where Darlington Middle School and Darlington County Institute of Technology are located. These projects are currently in the planning stage, and we look forward to continuing the conversation with our community.
Thank you to Audrey and Chris for putting that together as an overview of the facility study and the recommendations as we kick off our listening sessions. You know, stewardship is really about 2 things: taking care of what we have and planning for what students will need next. I also have a few updates for what else is going on in the district. I want to let you know that today we completed our budget hearings, our budget meetings. We have now met with every principal and every district office director to review our requests for next year. I have to say I really appreciate the preparation that went into those conversations. Our focus remains simple. How do we align resources to what will move student learning, improve day-to-day operations, and support safe, well-run schools? Ms. Douglas walked me through that, so I appreciate that. That was my first year of doing all of those meetings, and I feel like I have been tied down in Conference Room 3, but they have been very productive meetings. I also set a goal this 9 weeks to visit every school and meet one-on-one with each principal, and I'm nearly finished. I have 1 school to go to at the end of this week. I missed it last week because one of my children was sick, and so I didn't make that meeting, but I will be there at the end of this week. And these visits are really time well spent. I'm seeing strong instruction, positive school culture, and teams working hard to meet student needs. And I want to thank our teachers, our staff, our school leaders for the way they've kept their focus on students this year. Also, as an update, I will be visiting again with advisory councils next week. These groups are helping us stay grounded in what's working, where we need to tighten systems, especially around student supports, structures, and real-world learning opportunities. Each quarter, I have the opportunity to sit down with the teacher forum. I sit down with, which includes all the teachers of the year from each school. My favorite is the student advisory groups, where I go to each high school and sit down with juniors and seniors at the high school to receive their feedback. The retirees are a group of former educators within the district who come and provide feedback, as well as our ministers and community meeting. Those are all great opportunities for us to share what we are doing, but also to receive feedback from the community about how we can get better. And so those meetings will happen next week. We talked about the facility community listening meetings. Just a reminder, I know all of you know this, but tomorrow we will be in Lamar at Lamar Spalding Elementary at 6 p.m. Next week on Tuesday, we will be in Darlington, which is March 17th at 6 p.m. at Black Creek Elementary. And then Hartsville's meeting will occur on Thursday, March the 19th at 6 p.m. During those meetings, we want to listen, share information clearly, and make sure families and communities understand the recommendations.
You'll
but
need to
also,
unlock your iPhone first.
but also to listen to their thoughts about those recommendations. Also, a reminder,
Black Creek was?
Black Creek is on Tuesday, March the 17th
Okay.
at 6 p.m.
Could you just repeat all three of those one more time for anybody
ma'am.
that was trying to?
Tomorrow is Lamar at Lamar Spalding Elementary. Next Tuesday, March 17th, will be Darlington at Black Creek Elementary. And then Thursday, March the 19th, at Hartsville High School in the cafeteria.
Thank you.
Also, as a reminder, parent-teacher conferences are going to occur this Thursday evening. I'm excited to welcome our parents into our schools and keep building the partnership with parents. Also thankful for our food service folks who will be providing, again, cookies and coffee for our community members who come in on Thursday night. It was a big hit in the fall, and they were excited to offer that again to our families on Thursday night. And then also Friday, March the 13th, Friday the 13th is going to be our final makeup day from the snow ice disruptions that we experienced a few months ago. That will be a full day for both students and staff. And then a couple of highlights for community and student opportunities. Darlington County School District has race tickets, and it is nearly race weekend. So race weekend is March 21st and 22nd. It's a great way to support our students and celebrate a Darlington tradition. I'm also really excited about this year's art and business competition or ceremony. We have a change of date on that. That will be on March the 18th, the open house here at the district office. The students, teachers are coming in now, and we're really excited to open up the district office to student art. And if you walk around the hall tonight, you'll see a few of the schools have already put up their exhibits, but we are happy to showcase them on Wednesday, March the 18th here at the district office. And then the awards portion of that will occur on Tuesday, March 24th at the Mayo Conference Center. And then also, I want to make sure that all of you knew about a great opportunity, which is our Art Summer Intensive that we have every year in partnership with Coker University. This is an annual event. The registration is now open for students, rising 6th graders through current 12th graders. They have the opportunity to visit Coker University and study disciplines such as the visual arts, media art, animation, dance, theater, and instrumental music and vocal music. That opportunity occurs from June 1st through the 11th. Darlington County provides shuttle transportation from Central Drop-Off location, and that window is now open for applicants. So if you know of anyone who is interested in that opportunity, please apply now through March the 27th. That is a great event every year, and the kids are so excited to be on the campus of our local university and to experience the arts. This is the kind of program that helps students grow skills, confidence, creativity in a real college setting right here in Darlington County. And members of the board, thank you for your leadership. We have a full and important stretch ahead, and I'm grateful to be doing this work with you.
Any questions for Dr. Ferguson? Ms. Thomas, we'll welcome you back, and we'll start off with you.
Thank you. It's good to be back. It's always rewarding for me when we do the honors and awards because it gives us a firsthand look at the student successes. We get to see how parents support their children in excelling and see the commitment that the teachers have. And I just want to say that it shows, it makes a difference. You know, I think this is what we as a community and strive to see successes. And I just want to thank all of them for their hard work. I got a couple questions, and I don't know if I should ask Dr. Ferguson or Mr. Schuler. I know when the contract was signed with Care South for Rosenwald School, the district went in, I think, and cleaned all of the stuff out of the schools. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. The items that I think some of the Roosevelt alumni had said that they talked to not the district but Care South at some point about some of the paraphernalia related to Roosevelt and that stuff. Is that stuff here or with Care South? Do you know?
We had movers come in, so I think Care South and Mr. Helms have been in contact of some items that may have been moved by the movers.
Okay.
And may have should have remained.
Okay, so conversation is ongoing about that?
Yes.
Okay. Second thing, one of the council members in Society Hill called me. There is a road, and I looked coming over here, didn't have a sign on it, but a lot of students live down that road, and there's not a sign. That's what's being requested. The council person said that they talked to someone at DOT about getting a sign like school crossing or something for the bus. They spoke with a Treasurer Scarborough at South Carolina DOT, and they were told that the school district would have to make a request for the sign, some kind of signage to go related to that. And I was asked to ask you, Dr. Ferguson, if you would look into it. And I do have a copy of the card for that individual that gave the information. But what they want, they're concerned, you know, with the traffic coming and the school bus needing to stop and nothing being there. With traffic coming, it would be great to have a sign in place.
Yes, ma'am. I'll look into that and we'll follow up with you.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Ms. Thompson?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Renee Douglas and our finance team. I mean, I think the auditor being willing to take us at short notice is a testament to the fact that we should be relatively easy for them, right? I mean, like we have things in order. I mean, it's not easy because it's a lot what they have to do, but the fact that we've had good audits for years and they don't expect to find, you know, they know things are in order, and you always do that, and I just it's impressive. Also, I just proud that we can do, like, from years and years of this board and this district being financially responsible, that we can consider building a high school. Yes, we have to ask the voters to be able to take that much money out, but we can do it without raising taxes, and that's a big deal, I think, and is a testament to the work that this district has done for a long time. And so I just want to thank you for all the hours that you guys put in to make sure that we are responsible with the taxpayers' money. and have been for many years. So I just wanted to say thank you. I think that's all I've got tonight.
Mr. Jeffords?
All right, well, thank Renee too. I mean, our finances have really been great for the last, I don't know, 25, 30 years, I guess, when you get down to it. But thank you so much. To Lamar, we have our meeting tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. I want to encourage everyone to come out tomorrow night. There's some rumors going around about this and that, and I think if you'll come to the meeting, you'll actually find out what the proposal is from the architects. And some of those rumors, I mean, they don't have a whole lot of validity to them, but come out and we can put those rumors to bed and make sure you know what is being proposed. And if you do that, I think you'll like the proposal and we'll move on from there. But very important that you show up tomorrow night. And if you got concerns, that's what these meetings are for, to make sure we hear what your concerns are and what we can do to alleviate those concerns. So I appreciate that. And how are we?
Well, I happen to know that you would probably ask that. So for the current school year, we had 12 vacancies. That's not unusual. Those will probably stay pretty much frozen until we move into the next hiring season. We have actually 22 vacancies for next year. That sounds high, but 8 of those are not even posted because as we've gone through budget meetings, we're looking at positions that we may be able to combine creatively or push them to something different that would really help our students excel. And so those are not posted until Dr. Ferguson works with the staff to decide what we will do with those. So basically, we only have 4 elementary positions right now as vacancies for next year. We have 10 that are at the middle school or secondary level. Those are tougher to fill, and those are not all classroom positions. Some of those are CT positions, but we have 22 for next year, but we're already working on it. So,
Good.
but thank you for always asking, because the research says the person at the front of the classroom is the most critical variable in the quality of a child's education. So thank you.
And Dr. Ferguson, thank you for those videos. They were very good, and I think they answered some questions that people had questions about. Okay.
Mr. Govan?
My only request, Dr. Ferguson, is that you consider starting back our all-A banquet for elementary schools. I think we, during COVID, we stopped doing it, but I think it's time to bring it back. That's it.
So, Mr. Govan, we have started looking at what that might look like. I don't know that we will be able to pull that off this spring, but we, stay tuned. We have maybe some iterations that we are excited about for what that could look like. Now, the schools still do all-A banquets, and there are trophies for that, but from the district perspective, we've got an idea for the fall.
Well, I'm not asking you to do it this year or this school year, but in conversation with parents and with students who were previously recognized, they still remember that. And they still cherish that idea, and I just thought it was something that we could go back to doing.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Kelly?
That was a good job on those videos. They were like first class. It gets me excited every meeting that we get to see what we've created. To kind of we talked about it for years. We gotta talk about ourselves. We gotta show off. We gotta point to all the good, and those.
I have to give Chris all the credit.
They're hitting the mark. He's doing great. I really appreciate that work. That's it.
Ms. Gore?
I would just like to go back and, like Ms. Thomas, and I was very proud of the children that from Darlington Middle School tonight and the Male Magnet School in Hartsfield. I was just very, very proud of those young ladies and their dance and Mr. English from the state junior beta vice president. Now he was sharp. He was sharp tonight.
He got 2 runs at it.
Oh, he was sharp tonight. So I just know his parents are so very proud of him, and we are so very proud of him as well, and all the young men that got awards for the first place engineering senior. I'm very proud of you all. And the ladies that did, the senior dancers, that they weren't here, but they were recognized. And we thank God for all the children that excelled beyond. And I look forward to seeing those awards. And also thanking the schools for their attendance. And Carolina, you're doing good. North Hartsville Middle School, y'all hanging in there. Y'all carrying them trophies back. Congratulations again. Thank Pate Elementary School. Y'all hang in there. And they said, maybe you all can bump one of them out. I don't know, but I'm glad to see Pate is doing this, because I know they went through a lot of tragedy this year, and I'm glad to see them coming together and working on their attendance as well. I'm kind of new at this this referendum that we're doing, but I appreciate the information that I'm getting so that I can go back to my constituents and speak intelligently about what they're asking and their concerns are. So I'm really pushing. I want the parents, the civic leaders, the community leaders, y'all please come out to these work sessions, starting with Lamar. And then in Darlington, we're going to be here on the 17th at 6 o'clock. At Blight Creek, I need you all to be present. I need you all to have your questions already in mind, what you want to ask. Don't come back later and say, well, I didn't know this. I want you to be well informed of what's being taken place, so that because this is going to affect your children's future, if not your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, it's going to affect your future. So I need for you all to be present and be here so that you all can have all your questions that you need to ask about what we're trying to do. And I think that we're off to a good start with good, solid information. And so I need for y'all to come and support and get your questions asked and get the right answers that you need, so when it's time to vote, you can be able to make that decision on what you want to really do to help the school district. Well, Ms. Renee, I always got hats off to you about what you do for this district, and I appreciate you since I've been on the board. I thank you for your budget reports. You make them plain, you make them simple so that we can understand it. And I thank you for what you do. I thank for those good audit reports that we have every year, and I hope the company that you have selected now will continue on with what we're trying to do for Darlington County School District. Dr. Ferguson, thank you for the films. Thank you for the Audrey, Chris. You make it simple and plain. You're showing us what you're trying to do, and when you can visualize it and you can see it, it makes a difference. So I appreciate all the hard work everybody does and what they do on a daily basis. See, I came up here the other day on a sneak trip, so I got a chance to see what you all do. I walked around, I was dressed down. I wasn't dressed up that day. I was dressed down. So I came in and I went to visit Miss Brown, Mr. Schuler. I just got the chance to see how y'all out here working every day. So I'm going to be back again. I'm coming on the down low. I don't need no trumpet blowing. I'm here. No, I just want to come and sit with you and see what you're doing, and I appreciate what y'all do. Dr. Ferguson, thank you for taking the time out that day because you was working on your budgets. And you said, Ms. Gore, I'm going to make the time for you. And that made me feel good. So thank you all what y'all do here. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you all.
What she said. She covered it all. There's nothing left. Thank you.
Once again, I want to just kind of back up a thing that Mr. Jeffords said. I know there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I just want to reassure everyone, at least from our area and the other areas, that we are here to listen. These are concepts that we have. They are not in stone. There has not been a vote taken to move forward the referendum. And I just ask, just as Ms. Gore said, please come to the meetings, please ask your questions that we can answer, so that, we are doing this for the community. We are not you know, that's why we're holding these. If we wanted to just make our decision, we'd just make our decision. But this way, we want the community input, and it's important that we get that feedback from everybody. And I'm very excited to hear from our financial advisor, Mr. Dameron, that this could be with a no tax increase, that we would be able to move forward with this. And so I think that's essential for our voters to understand that, you know, we're working to better our community, and we can do this without an increase. So with that, we'll move on to personnel matters. I'll take a motion to approve personnel matters.
Madam Chair, I move we accept the recommendation for personnel matters.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. But Ferguson, do we need an executive session?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take a motion for an executive session concerning professional matters and contractual matters.
If I make a motion, we enter into executive session to discuss personnel issues and contractual matters.
I get a second.
Second.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. I'll take a motion to come out of executive session.
I move to come out. 1 second.
All in favor? We're out of executive session. During executive sessions, we had no votes were taken, no actions were taken, and now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? And we are adjourned.